Hello, I'm Darren Magee and welcome to my mental health information and awareness channel. Now today's topic is following on from a question following a video I did before about what life in a relationship with a grandiose narcissist might be like. The question was, what would life in a relationship with a vulnerable or a covert narcissistic wife be like? So today we're going to focus on life with a narcissistic wife, a vulnerable narcissistic wife. Now let's be clear. Men can be vulnerably narcissistic as well. They can be covert narcissists as well. But today we're just focusing on a narcissistic wife. Now, I suppose it doesn't have to be a wife. It could be a long-term partner. But I'm just going to use the term wife, okay? Now, if you find this video helpful, please consider subscribing to my channel. And please do check out my other videos on mental health related topics. Now, first of all, when talking about narcissism, I'm not necessarily talking about someone who can behave narcissistically from time to time, as I think we all can, okay? I'm talking about people on that narcissistic spectrum. I'm talking about pathological narcissism. Now, narcissistic personalities can often be characterized by being self-centered, having a sense of entitlement, being low in agreeableness, very disagreeable. They have difficulty regulating emotion. And there are different types, as I've covered before. The two extremes would be grandiose or overt. The other being vulnerable or covert, okay? And there's many different types in between. Now, I think the abuse from a covert narcissist is more through neglect than in-your-face bullying. But it can become overt when she needs to be. So the vulnerable narcissistic wife, she wants her partner to suffer, but suffer without her actions being the actual cause. It's actually her lack of actions in a lot of cases. So let's look at behaviour number one. She is in a constant state of unfulfilment and disappointment. This is how she lives. And she wants her husband to live that way as well. She wants him to be under a constant strain. Now this could maybe involve spending any money he may have, usually on nothing. It could be money that he's been saving for, say, a holiday. Then she complains they never get to go anywhere nice on holiday. He could be saving for a new car. Then she complains their car's a wreck and it's all his fault. So the aim there is to keep him under a constant strain. Number two. She is constantly disagreeable, even in small, subtle ways. For example, if he offers her tea, she'll ask for coffee. If he offers her either tea or coffee, she'll ask for a glass of water. If he offers her tea, coffee, or water, she'll ask him for milk. She'll always find the option that he didn't offer. And if he does offer something, anything at all, anything that might be in her best interest, something she might like, something she could really use, she'll find a way to refuse it. Next up, the husband, by default, is always wrong. Everybody else is right. If the husband, say, for example, was to get attacked, get assaulted, she would want to know what he did to provoke it. If he's having a hard time at work, if he was able to do his job properly, he'd be fine. There wouldn't be any problem. Somebody insults him, she might offer, would you like to discuss with her why that person had to say that? She will jump to the default setting of there being something wrong with the husband. He is the one who is always at fault. And no matter what his skill set, his job, whatever it is, other people will always know more about his job, his role, his skill set, no more, and be able to do it better than him because he is inept, he is clumsy, he is useless, he is lazy. Anything he does, anything he might do about the house, she will find fault with it. She may even get someone else in to do it better. And eventually, again, I often say we only have so much capacity. Eventually, he may stop even trying. And that fits her narrative that he is lazy and thoughtless. Anything he does do, anything he does achieve, anything he accomplishes, even if he gets a new car, it might take her a couple of days to even mention it. But even then, it'll only be that perhaps she doesn't like the colour, or that he had better look after it, better than he did the last one. Or she may point out to him that he should have spoken to someone who knows about cars and would have been able to advise him. Anything else he does achieve, he maybe gets a promotion, he not just completes but wins a marathon or something, that is never ever going to be pointed out to anyone. She would never even bring that up as a topic of conversation because again, it does not fit her narrative. Next up, She has fantasies. Fantasies over how another partner would be so much better. And you know what? Sometimes there isn't even subtlety about it. And even if there had been an ex-partner, doesn't matter. Could have been years ago. Someone she dated when she was at school. He will always have been a better partner than the husband could ever be. She regrets that relationship is over. And she will constantly bring up at every opportunity, everybody liked the last guy. Everybody likes that guy. Everybody likes this guy. You know, he was good at this. He enjoyed that. The husband could say that he loves her and she'll reply, oh, he used to say that. He will constantly be devalued and compared unfavourably to others. Next up, as is typical with all shades of narcissism, is a lack of empathy. Now, with covert narcissism, I often look at this or think of this as thoughtlessness, because the husband doesn't matter. His problems are his. They are nothing to do with her. Regardless of the effect of her behaviour, it's up to him to sort it out. It's up to him to do better. His needs are not met. By default, they are not met. In her mind, she must not give him anything. She must not meet any of his needs, do anything for fear of him feeling good or feeling a sense of empowerment. Anything she does do for him is pointed out, she's so magnanimous, I made you your dinner. I bought you deodorant. This thoughtlessness, this lack of empathy is because there's no real connection there. She is emotionally distant. And because there's no depth to her, nothing is ever resolved. It's just better not talked about. And at times she'll even be callous, just like a grandiose narcissist. He could come home, he could come in the door with the most devastating, awful, life-changing, shocking news. And she'll point out to him the grass needs cut or she has a sore foot. And this distance, this lack of connection, it's the husband's fault because he just doesn't get it. He doesn't understand. Because of her poor insight and her maladaptive coping strategies, she really doesn't understand herself, but she projects this onto the husband. She will make him feel guilty for wanting or needing any kind of connection, any kind of intimacy, and I'm not just talking about sex, any kind of connection whatsoever. She will accuse him of being controlling, sleazy, disrespectful, whatever it is. Next up, she is hypersensitive. Not just sensitive, she is hypersensitive to any kind of criticism at all, even if it's being constructive. And you know what? Even if it's not criticism, even if it's just a different point of view, a different perspective, that hypersensitivity will kick in, and so will her maladaptive coping strategies. She may, for example, feign exhaustion. She may just want the world to end right now. She will perform amazing illnesses until he apologizes. Now, normally he has to apologize for how he feels at the way she behaves and the way she treats him. He will be vilified for bringing up anything at all that has her seeming less than perfect. And this is because her self-esteem is so low. Everything at all is processed and taken personally because it's all about her, not about her behaviour. And if the husband disagrees, he is attacking her, not her opinion, not trying to change a behaviour. He is attacking her because she is a helpless victim, or as I sometimes put it, she is an innocent bystander in her own life. She is an innocent bystander in her own marriage. And with this, of course, with a lot of narcissistic traits, comes double standards because he is responsible for everything. She isn't. He needs to learn, grow and develop. She's fine as she is. He must drop everything and run to her rescue. However, he must look within himself if he needs help, support or company. And she will continually treat him with disdain and contempt, but demand worship and attention, otherwise he is bad. Next up, she wants nothing to do with him other than to own and control him. Other than that, she wants nothing to do with him, but she doesn't want anyone else having anything to do with him either. She will be uncomfortable with anyone, especially other females, complimenting him, talking to him, having any kind of contact with him at all. She will feel uncomfortable at him having any kind of friendships or support from others. Because the truth is she's envious. She's envious of her partner. But rather than use that envy in a healthy, inspiring way in order for her to grow, she takes joy from his pain. She only feels good if he feels bad. She only feels powerful if he feels powerless. Next up, constant sabotage. Now, it's mentioned earlier, she will spend his money, not hers. She'll spend his. She will keep him under a financial strain. She will become ill at the last minute when about to go out, do something, go somewhere that he has picked, something he is looking forward to. Any discussions they do have, if he says no to something, she'll do what she likes anyway. And come back afterwards with, oh, I thought we agreed. Oh, I thought you'd said yes. And regardless of what the husband decides, wants, would like to try, offers, for her, every solution will have a problem. Every silver lining will have a cloud. Next up, she will over-empathize and sympathize with others. Now this helps her to maintain a level of self-esteem, because if others see her as good and caring, she'll feel good about herself. It also works in the sense that it helps invalidate the husband, because as he sees her caring about everybody else and not him, he starts to believe he's not worthy. And lastly, like all narcissists, she has what seems to be what I often refer to as toxic amnesia. And that's why there's no learning or growing as a person. She will be selective over what she remembers. That's why arguments are about the same thing over and over again. If it's not the same thing, it's the same recurring theme. Nothing ever goes away, nothing ever gets resolved. The only thing she'll ever learn are new tactics to do the same thing. Now, an example I often use is, at one point he's telling her how he feels about something, the way she's behaving, and she'll just come back with, I don't accept that. There must be something else wrong with you. Shall we explore what that is? Now, after a while, if this was to be pointed out that that's invalidating, that's very devaluing, it stops being I don't accept that and it becomes I don't understand. What do you mean? I don't get it. What is it again? Are these my feet? What was the question again? Ridiculous kind of circular reasoning, anything at all to avoid any kind of responsibility. And the husband gets frustrated trying to explain himself again and again to someone who has pretty much committed themselves not to understand. So what's going on with the vulnerable narcissistic wife? Well, normally, what I think she's doing is she is punishing the husband for the emotional humiliation, unkind humour, learned helplessness that she was taught. Most commonly, I believe, from a narcissistic parent. She doesn't know how to have a healthy, toxic-free relationship. She doesn't know how to be herself. So the husband will not only always be the cause of her pain in her mind, he must be punished for it as well. She wants him to be every bit as alone, emotionally isolated, and in as much pain as she is. So, they're my thoughts on a relationship with a vulnerable narcissistic wife. Okay, now, there are other things such as gaslighting, blame shifting, constant tantrums, and as I mentioned earlier, outrageous illnesses and so on. If you have any thoughts or comments, opinions, please use the comment box below. I like reading your comments and responding to them. Please let me know if there are any other topics you'd like me to cover in future videos. And if you like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching.